It's all about a division of the social engagement applications through the neurophysiology of consciousness. No fear at all, speaking in who she was. She didn't feel like she needed to hide. And it was such an honor to witness that. I am fascinatingly noticing that different styles of yoga classes bring me to a completely different state of consciousness. I'm very clearly experiencing something along the lines of Misty today. Last night, the first class led me to a place of ocean, and the second class led me to a different place. I'm not entirely certain which one, but more socially engaged, more energy than an ocean state. And then today it's very clearly Misty, and it changes my entire perceptions of myself and the world and potentials. And I think that really does have a lot to do with memory access. If memory is not just data about the past, but a way to project potentialities of the future and a way to comprehend unfoldings, not just past happenings, which is what we learned in a neuroscience video, it makes a lot of sense that my perceptions of self and surrounding world would be very different in different states of consciousness. And the way that I perceive the present moment and the potentials of the future moments would be very different. How utterly fascinating. It's all about the way my neurophysiology is engaging. Oh my God. How incredible to witness it so lucidly. Oh wow. Okay, so that was recorded after yoga when we were at the yoga studio parking lot. Now we're at a park before Cairo, and I can see colors clearer. I can see colors brighter. I can process external physicality as if I'm actually a part of it. There's no separation within the dimensionality of my sense of self or my perceptions of experience. Other states of consciousness loved virtual reality because I felt like they were actually in a dimensional experience. I am naturally having that dimensional experience right now. The thing that other states of consciousness got a small taste of in virtual reality is what I'm getting a full slice of now in physicality. The manner in which I perceive myself is entirely different. Who I believe myself to be, what life priorities exist, the way I feel when I look at my face, the way I perceive and focus on the specificities of my face, my entire unconscious processes of sense of self and surroundings through experiential sensations are a 100% different experience than other states of consciousness. There are literally different persons inside of this one body. And I was like, this is Misty. And I was like one of the most like certain of being like a singular person. Like other states like experience dissociation or whatever, but I didn't really. And so that reality wasn't a part of my reality. And so, like, I was the last one to be unblended, I think, or one of the last ones. I think Kylo was the last one, but I was one of the last ones to be unblended. Oh my God, how trippy for me to even experience. Okay, so when all amnesic walls get broken down, there can be this conscious experience of separate persons. For me, anyways, for us. I am consciously experiencing life through completely separate applications of personhood through human neurophysiology of consciousness. Oh my God. Oh my God, the entire way I perceive myself, where I am in life, what's important, how I should be, how I can direct myself. Priorities are a big thing, like the way I feel about time and the way I feel about how to spend my time and the way I feel about people and engaging with people and potentials of engaging with people is very different. It's all about a division of the social engagement applications through the neurophysiology of consciousness. It's all about separate applications of social engagement through the various versions of neurophysiological activations of consciousness. That's the core of adaptable consciousness condition. Some more case study notes. Inner persons inner persons can only foresee potentials based on memory systems. Only a fully lucid state, who is no particular person, but just a lucid state of conscious presence, can really have the option of, good job, baby girl, can really have the option of choosing something that's never ever been chosen, choosing something that's never ever been experienced. Now that my mind and body are learning to be roommates and not just next door neighbors, I am able to notice a little more of some of the things that were happening, where they were completely indescribable experiences of consciousness. For one thing, stimulus was not being processed through my brain, and so instead, through my body. And so instead of the body explaining to the brain, who would explain to the mind what the stimulus was, what it meant, and interpret it into something that could be consciously experienced, the unconscious stimulators activated unconscious responses in the unconscious neurophysiology, the unconscious memory system, the unconscious nervous system, etc. And so instead of it being a consciously experienced sensation of stimulus, it was an unconsciously experienced, unconsciously processed experience of stimulus, where the stimulus activated unconscious data rather than just moving up to the mind as a present experience. And so unconscious memories in the brainstem and thalamus, upper brainstem and the thalamus, were being activated and projected. And that's where the implicit projections came from. Oh, wow. And then things about stimulus weren't being processed. And so instead of hearing certain sounds and them just being sounds, because they weren't being processed, they would activate traumatic responses in the nervous system, where the nervous system is like, there's a piece of stimulus and I don't know what it means. It must be really scary. And it responded accordingly to try and keep me safe. So that's stimulus. Another profound aspect is sense of self. Before we go there, another aspect is the manner in which dimension exists. Energy does not naturally have dimension. It's energy. It's not physicality. Energy has, from one perspective, no dimension, and from another perspective, infinite dimension. It's just a dimensionless concept. And so to experience life through energy rather than physicality adjusted the dimension of things. And I'm sure that there's a specific thing that's happening in the brain and body system. I'm not entirely sure what that is, and that's okay. And so the dimensionality of things wasn't there. And there was just this hazy mirage collage of energy. And there wasn't specificity between physical objects. A row of cans wasn't something where there were separate objects existing. And that was overwhelming, and also could activate a traumatic response in this nervous system, because there wasn't an understanding of what these things were. And there wasn't a separation between me and them, because my own physicality wasn't being processed, and neither was the physicality around me. And because everything was dimensionless, moving through time and space was like really hard and really stressful for my whole brain and body. And then another profound aspect is the sense of self. There wasn't this solidified sense of self before, and so anytime there were other people around, the sense of self, or stimulus even, the sense of the sense of self would shift to whatever that person or stimulus provoked energy-wise. And the entire natural system of sense of self shifted to that piece of singular energy through stimulus activation, rather than there being an already existing, consciously and unconsciously accessible, solidified sense of self. And so every piece of stimulus, every person who walked by could change who I perceived my own self to be. And it was because my mind and body were disconnected through the brain-body system and the neurophysiological applications of consciousness. We'll come back to that. Okay, too many miracles. I need to process this aloud. I can't keep it inside. This is all incredible. Wow. So we had major breakthroughs with, oh my God. Wow. There's no words to even process this. Okay, the most recent one is we got to have a little play party in the chiropractic office waiting room with a man. We think that he has DID, and it kind of made sense with the way he was expressing his ventriloquist puppets and how they have different names and different voices and different stories and speaking styles and things. Anyway, she had wanted to meet him and like interact with someone else who has a unique brain like us. And we got to have a whole dance party in the waiting room and helped name he initiated it completely. He helped name our unicorn, who's now named Ginger Rainborn the Unicorn. And we shared with him the unique orange spelling. And he named the little owl that's clipped onto our rainbow bag Hootie. And Ocean got to share about her blankie, the little elephant, too. Too. Wow. Oh my God. And Ocean was jumping with joy and sharing openly and very courageously, no fear at all, speaking in who she was. And she didn't feel like she needed to hide. And it was such an honor to witness that.